They called themselves the Ahnenerbe, an elite secret research institute of Nazi Germany, obsessed with the occult, ancient myths, and the origins of the so-called Aryan race. But what if I told you this organization wasn't just about archaeology or history, it was about finding power, mystical power that could change the outcome of World War II? And for a moment, the world feared maybe they found it. It all began in 1935. Heinrich Himmler, the head of the SS, founded the Ahnenerbe, which means ancestral heritage. To Himmler, history wasn't just a story, it was a weapon, a way to prove that Germans descended from a divine ancient civilization. He believed that somewhere in the ruins of the past lay the key to power, maybe even supernatural power. Officially, the Ahnenerbe's mission sounded scientific, to research the territory, ideas, and achievements of the Indo-Germanic race. But behind those words hid a blend of pseudoscience, mysticism, and pure delusion. The organization grew fast, more than 50 departments, from archaeology and runology to animal telepathy. Professors, explorers, and SS officers all working together to uncover the lost wisdom of their ancestors. The Ahnenerbe sent expeditions all over the world, to Norway, searching for traces of the Nordic gods, to the Arctic, hunting for the lost continent of Thule, and to Tibet, looking for proof of an ancient Aryan civilization that they believed once ruled Asia. The Tibet expedition of 1938 was led by SS officer Ernst Schaefer. He and his team climbed through the Himalayas, measured skulls, recorded rituals, and took thousands of photos, all to scientifically prove that Tibetans were connected to the Aryan race. When they returned, Himmler welcomed them as heroes. Their findings became propaganda, evidence that Aryans were the original rulers of the earth. But these missions weren't only about anthropology. They were treasure hunts. Some teams searched for sacred relics, the Holy Grail, the Spear of Destiny, even the Ark of the Covenant, objects that, according to legend, granted divine power to those who possessed them. For Himmler, science alone was never enough. He believed that ancient Germanic tribes possessed hidden spiritual forces, powers that could be reawakened in modern times. And through Ahnenerbe, he intended to rediscover them. Inside SS headquarters, occult symbolism was everywhere. The Black Sun, a circle of 12 runes carved into the marble floor of Wewelsburg Castle, became the mystical heart of SS ideology. Each rune represented an aspect of power, courage, sacrifice, destiny. Himmler called Wewelsburg the center of the world. He redesigned it according to sacred geometry, rooms aligned to solstices, towers modeled after ancient temples. They say deep beneath Wewelsburg Castle, there was a chamber known as the Hall of the Dead, a circular stone hall, cold, silent, and built to echo every word like a whisper from another world. According to legend, 12 SS officers, handpicked by Heinrich Himmler himself, would descend there at night. The room was lit only by torches, their flames flickering across runic symbols carved into the walls. In the center stood a stone bowl, the so-called Grail of Unity, a symbol of their secret brotherhood. When the torches were lit, their glow revealed the symbol etched into the ceiling, the Black Sun, Schwarze Sonne. Under its shadow, the 12 men took an oath, a blood oath, to protect the secrets of the Aryan race and to serve the occult mission of the Third Reich. It is said that the ceremony ended with one of them speaking the words, "Blood is the sun that nourishes us." Each man would then cut his palm and let a drop of blood fall into the shared bowl, binding them in silence and secrecy. Skeptics say the story is pure myth, post-war propaganda designed to make the SS look even more fanatical. But the strange thing is, archaeologists did discover a circular underground chamber beneath Wewelsburg, almost identical to the one described in the legend. And if it truly was just a burial hall, as the official documents claim, why does its design mirror ancient Celtic and Germanic ritual sites? Some claim these men truly believed they were reincarnations of Teutonic warriors. They underwent ancestral trance ceremonies, guided meditations meant to connect them with the spirits of their forefathers. Historians still argue whether these rituals were genuine or symbolic, but post-war documents describe detailed ceremonies, chanting runic verses, burning herbs, and swearing oaths to the eternal bloodline of Aryan heroes. Ahnenerbe scholars even worked with astrologers and clairvoyants. They studied Norse sagas, Eastern mysticism, and the writings of Madame Blavatsky, trying to prove that the Aryans descended from a divine race from a lost northern continent. Some called it Thule, others Hyperborea. This wasn't harmless superstition, it was ideology disguised as myth. It gave pseudo-religious justification to genocide, the belief that one race was divine and all others were expendable. The darker side of the Ahnenerbe went beyond rituals. Some of its departments worked directly with Nazi doctors, conducting human experiments in concentration camps, freezing tests, altitude exposure, poison trials, all under the banner of science. These experiments were rooted in the same twisted logic that through suffering and death they could uncover racial secrets, knowledge at any cost. After the war, many of these scientists claimed they were simply following orders, but the evidence told another story. They had turned mythology into murder. When the Third Reich collapsed, the Ahnenerbe vanished almost overnight. Many of its leaders were captured or executed. Others disappeared into the chaos of post-war Europe. Himmler himself was caught by British forces and took his own life before he could be interrogated, but the knowledge they gathered didn't disappear. Allied forces found crates of relics, skulls, and manuscripts. Some were taken by the Soviets, others by the Americans, quietly absorbed into Operation Paperclip, the program that recruited Nazi scientists for U.S. research. Rumors claim that Ahnenerbe's archives contain information about ancient energy sources, magnetic weapons, even anti-gravity technology. None of this was ever proven, but the myths survived, feeding decades of speculation. After the war, former Ahnenerbe members blended back into academic life in universities, museums, secret labs. They rarely spoke of their past, yet their influence crept into post-war occultism and pseudo-historical movements. In the 1950s and 60s, writers began romanticizing the occult side of the Nazis. Books like Morning of the Magicians turned Ahnenerbe into a legend, half history, half fantasy. Later came movies like Indiana Jones, documentaries, video games, all inspired by fragments of that myth. But the real legacy is much darker. Ahnenerbe proved how easily knowledge can be twisted when ideology and obsession take control, how people with education and status can use science to justify cruelty. Today, extremist groups still misuse its symbols. The Black Sun, once buried in the ruins of Wewelsburg, now appears in online hate movements and neo-pagan cults. History buried Ahnenerbe's name, but its echoes remain in books, in conspiracies, and in our fascination with how far people will go when they believe myth can make them gods. They sought to rewrite the past to control the future, and in doing so, they became prisoners of their own delusion. The story of Ahnenerbe isn't about magic or mystery. It's about what happens when power, faith, and fear collide and turn science into superstition. Thanks for watching. If you liked the video, don't forget to like it and subscribe to the channel. And write in the comments what topics you would like to see in future videos. See you soon.